Hello lovely people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I have a word today. It's been a word that's kind of just been going round and round in my spirit for a little while. I don't know how exactly it's going to come out, but I'm going to share it with you guys. And it's just this thought about testimony. And I'm just going to read Revelations 12:11 first of all. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. We know that we overcome the enemy by the blood of the Lamb. We know that it's the blood of Jesus that cleanses us, and that's by which we're saved. And this is the idea of testimony. The testimony, I just really want to share about the fact that we become the testimony. Sometimes people share testimony. It's more so a story of how they are not dead, which is obviously a great thing. I'm still standing, I'm still living, it's a great thing. However, if you're still standing, you're still, you've achieved, quote unquote, but you're bitter, you're still angry, you're still broken, you're still resentful, you still want revenge, you don't love, the people that have hurt you. And loving them doesn't mean that you're necessarily having an intimate relationship with them, but it means that you forgive. When you think of them, you don't feel anger, you don't feel resentment, you don't actually desire the Lord to harm them, but you can actually pray for your enemy. That's when you know you truly overcome, and that's when you truly know that the Lord it's the Lord's, that your life is now the Lord's testimony. Because the reality and what I want to say in this video is that no one can take away our testimony. And I've just been thinking about my own life and been thinking about everything that God has taken me through, everything that He's done in my life, and the place that He brought me to this point. I'm in a place where I still haven't seen the promises of God in my life. He's been taking me through a process, preparing me as the vessel, healing me, making me whole in Him. And I've just really come to see that, wow, but I'm so grateful for the journey. I'm so grateful that no one can take away everything that You've done in my life. When I speak and I say, God told me to do this, God told me to go here, God told me to do this, God has done this in my life, God has restored me, God has made me whole. And when it comes to the point of the thing that He's promised me, I actually am stepping into them. When I step into the position that He's given to me, no one can deny that it was God, because everything leading up to that point was God. I didn't do it of my own accord. I didn't take things into my own hands. I allowed Him. I've trusted Him. And I thought about the fact, just watching different things and seeing how so often the theme is that even the goodies, they do bad things for a good reason. And I've realised that if we think about people like Daniel and his friends, how they could have done what was, for example, when the king said, bow down to me, worship, like you bow down to the idol, otherwise you'll be thrown into the, the fiery furnace. They chose not to. And to people that would have been like, that's a good reason to do the wrong thing. That was a good reason to just deny God in that moment. That was a good reason to just, take things, to just lie, or to just take things in your own hand. But I'm seeing that, no, God is looking for those who will stand, even when people are criticizing you, even when people are calling you stupid, even when it looks crazy, and to stand and trust Him that He will vindicate you. I don't need to take things into my own hand. I don't need to try and make my own way to the top. I can trust Him that He will do it. And when you actually do that, when you don't decide to take things into your own hand, when you don't love your life even unto death, they love not their life unto the death. So obviously here they were physically martyred, but in the same sense, it's a case of, when you can lose all your reputation, you might lose your reputation. So because you might lose your reputation, you thought, okay, I need to do this because otherwise I might lose my reputation. Okay, I need to do this, otherwise I might lose my job. Oh my gosh, I need to do this, otherwise I might lose my house. I need to do this, otherwise X, Y, and Z. But when we can truly trust Him, even when it looks like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna, I might die in this situation. It might lead to death. My marriage might die. My home might be taken from me. I might lose my job. I might, people might laugh at me. Like all these kind of things that we come against on a daily basis. It's those things that if we will trust Him in those times, when we come through, that's when truly we are a testimony unto God. That's when truly our life can reflect back to Him, because we didn't take it into our own hands, not at any point, and there's no point. And I'm really excited to see and to know that when I do say God did this, people can't be like, oh yeah, God did this, because so often we see people say, God, I want to thank God, and it's great to glorify God when you're doing well. It's not to say it's a bad thing. However, when you look at a person's life and you see that, but you did that and that, you take it into your own hand. Your whole life is not actually His. It's easy for people to say, no, they just worked hard, that's why, or they just did this, that's why. But when you truly are obedient over appearance. That's why I have a hashtag, obedience over appearance, because it's obedience over whatever it looks like, obedience over whatever it costs. And in those places, and at that point, that's when you can truly say, yes, it was God. And Jesus is our ultimate model. Even when people mocking him on the cross, come down, if you are the Son of God, then come down, save yourself from there. Jesus said no, because he knew what the Father's will was, and it was the Father who resurrected him. And that's the testimony that no one could deny. No one can deny. Obviously, people can say Jesus didn't rise from the dead, etc. But at the end of the day, those of us who have who have been impacted by Jesus, because we know he's alive, we know that that him resurrecting is a testimony. He is a living testimony. The fact that we have the Holy Ghost and we are the fruit of his resurrection is the proof. And so if we will remain, if we will stay, if we will allow God to take us through, if we won't take things into our own hands, if we won't love our lives unto death, then truly we can be a walking and living testimony. And no one can take that away. No one can deny. No one can take away the journey, the process that God's taking you through. No one can deny it, because it's your story. It happened. They can't deny it. So even people want to deny Jesus didn't resurrect, they cannot deny that he came. So regardless of whatever they try to say, they cannot deny that actually everything that happened up to the cross happened. They can't deny it no matter how much they try, because it's history. It's true. It actually happened. And so it's the same with us. Like, if we allow God to write our story, truly no one can deny our testimony, and we will truly overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. I just really pray that encourages you to stand and to allow God to take you through, to allow to be obedient, even no matter whatever it looks like, to never to take things into your own hand, but to trust God wholeheartedly. I pray that encourages you, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.